Hey guys, Ben from Tenson's here. I'm going to show you how to maintain the trigger on your ProChem wand. So on our ProChem triggers, ProChem wands, sorry, they all have the same trigger and same layout. So what do we need to do to maintain these triggers, and what's something that's going to wear out on these things? So the O-rings and seals inside a trigger are much like the O-rings and seals on an unloader valve on your truck mount. They need to be lubricated. Hot water running over them all the time dries out the O-ring. The O-ring will then grab on the inside of the brass and either put a hole in it or wear it right out. What happens when it wears out? Well, your wand starts to leak and you're leaving water all over the carpet, or completely lets go and you're out. You can't clean carpets anymore. So the other thing that can occur is your filter inside your trigger blocking. So why do we have a filter? Well, the filter's there to protect your nozzles from blocking. What happens when the nozzles block? We get streaks all through the carpet. We don't clean the carpet correctly. So let's go through on how to pull this apart, check it, clean it, and if not, replace it. So let's grab some tools. Let's firstly do the trigger. So we've got a couple of Allen key on one side and 3/8 on the other. So there is 3 nuts and bolts on this. You only need to take 2, so the 2 bottom ones that actually hold the trigger. And as you can see, I've already dropped the nut. So make sure you're working somewhere where it's not going to fall down a drain or something silly like that, because you don't want to be stuck on the side of the road and lost a nut and a bolt. Simply pulls out. And this mechanism is very, very simple. You probably can see it here. It's actually a complete ball spring coupling all built into one. We undo it. Okay, so be careful not to lose the spring. What are we checking for here? We want to make sure the spring's all intact. We want to make sure all our O-rings are nice and looking round. If they're starting to look flat or they've got score marks in them, they need to be replaced. So just have a good look at everything, making sure that all your bits and pieces look like they should. How do you know if they're damaged? Well, they're going to be flat or they're going to be scored. So as I said, as you can see, this is brass, these are rubber, brass inside this mechanism. It's going to wear it out. So let's drop that there, put this down, grab a little bit of rubber grease. We want to ensure we use rubber grease and not a petroleum-based grease. If we use a petroleum-based grease, it's going to wreck the O-ring. So make sure it's a rubber-based grease. We're using a silicone lubricant, which is safe on rubber. We also do sell this stuff. So if you can't find it, don't hesitate, give us a call. Oh, we've dropped the O-ring. Okay, slide it back inside. All right. Put it inside our housing again. Now the housing does wear, being brass, so if you're finding you're replacing triggers or replacing repair kits all the time, maybe the trigger itself's worn out and you do need to replace the whole mechanism. So very, very simple. So that we just grease that then, but if we were to replace it, we're doing exactly the same thing, but making sure you put a generous amount of grease on those O-rings before you put them away. Nice and firm, doesn't have to be over tight. Putting it back in place. Get it firm in place. It's always the way when you're doing it on camera, it doesn't go in nice and quickly. All right, so we've got this back together. Our trigger's ready to go. Okay, so now go out and test it. The other thing we want to do is check our filter. We try a 13/16 and a 11/16. Crack it open. Oh, nice and firm that one was. Now this one's had a little bit of Loctite put on it. There's no need to put Loctite on these seals. It's brass on brass. Brass lubricates itself. Pull it out. Check for any dirt or debris on your filter. As I said, this is stopping anything going down into your nozzles. Give it a wash under the tap. If not, if it's worn out and squashed in, replace it. We have these available as well. They come in a 100 mesh and a 200 mesh. The 200 meshes are finer. This is a 200 mesh. 100 mesh is a slightly open mesh. Screw it back together. As I said, no need to go and add any glue into this coupling. Brass on brass does lubricate itself. So that was our ProChem trigger. Now we've greased it, or we've replaced it, and we've cleaned out our filter. Once again, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, one of our Tenson's team can do this for you. We have all the bits and pieces available. So click on our website or give us a call, and we can give you a hand.